Hello, Internet, and welcome back to Antiheroes Anonymous, or welcome for the first time if it's your first time joining us. I'm Ethan, and I'm the Dungeon Master for this 5th edition Dungeons and Dragons show. I will have some announcements and a recap, but before we dive into any of that, Nick, would you go ahead and kick off a quick round of character introductions?
Hi, I'm Nick. I play Embers of White Ash, the Sun's Altar Baxter Monk.
Hi, I'm Kay, and I play Lady Elwyn Amelos, who is the Elvish Circle of the Land Druid.
Hello, I'm Melissa, and I play Tepence Wiseacre, who is a pixie bard.
Hi, I'm Zach, and I play Vert, who is a changeling armor artificer.
And I'm Jordan. I'm playing Yurdad Therad, the Orc Life Cleric.
Thanks, everyone. I think that Kay is just laughing at Yurdad's last name.
Just love it. I just can't get enough.
Before I dive into our announcements, Jordan, do you want to take a quick opportunity to talk about anything you've got going on?
Yeah, I've got my D&D show, Dice Jailers, on Twitch and on YouTube. And then I've got my show coming up in Seattle in May with Seattle Public Theater called Riverwood. It's a fun all-black show that's going to be great and make you cry.
It'll definitely make Zach cry.
Yeah, out of my right eye this time.
Okay, anyways, sorry, inside joke. Our announcements real quick. I'll run through them real quick. We premiere our episodes on every Monday on YouTube at 7 p.m. Pacific time. Throughout the show, we use a variety of custom items as well as a custom pixie lineage, so be aware of that as you're watching. The character portraits, which you will see all over the layout, were drawn by an artist named Krista Porter, who goes by @KristaPorter with 2 R's on the end on Twitter. If you need a refresher on anything that's going on in the campaign, we have a campaign wiki at World Anvil, so you can go there to check that out. Finally, you can check out the video description for links and information to everything I mentioned and more, including some links to Black Lives Matter and some Stop Asian Hate resources. And then you can follow us on Twitter at Antiheroes Anon. And last but not least, we just hope you enjoy the show, share with your friends, and come back to watch some more. So before I can bumble anymore, let's roll the intro video. And welcome back. Previously on Antiheroes Anonymous, the Silver Seekers have been taking a stop in Fymir, the capital of the state of Sergil, on their way to their new keep in Amberhearth. While they were staying at a lavish inn run by a cousin of Nora Froth Tankards, they met Yurdad, an orcish cleric of Bahamut. So far, during their stay in the city, he has acted as a guide, steward, and research assistant, while the Seekers searched for answers among the stacks of the Argent Athenaeum, which happens to be the most foremost library, that's a little bit redundant. Anyways, the foremost library in the nation. Though their research shed light on a number of subjects, they were actually being watched by a strange woman all the while. On the last day of their week there, a mysterious tome found its way into their pull list, which transported them somewhere else entirely. And so that is where we are going to pick up today. I'll just give you a quick refresher on what happened. Yurdad returned with the final stack of books for your research efforts and kind of set them on the table, but there was a book that he didn't recall pulling from the library stacks, which ended up in there and kind of tumbled onto the table itself. Once it landed on the table, the pages flipped repeatedly. And eventually this light began to sort of expand out from the book and encompass all of you. And with a final flash burst of light, the study room was empty and the group of you were gone. So now in an entirely different location, the group of you find yourselves in a kind of silent and empty gray space. It seems to be a room of some kind, though there are no perceivable doors or windows. You find that you can sort of step and walk around a little bit. And when you do, your footsteps make tiny little ripples on the ground as you move, kind of implying that this space is not as solid as it seems. Everyone from the study room is there. So all of the members of the Silver Seekers, Torin, I think, was not present during this final study session, having grown a little bored and left the library. But Yurdot is there and all of the Silver Seekers. And as you look around, you notice that there's actually one other person present in the room. Familiar to Lady Elwyn Amelos and everyone else by, proxy of the image that Elwyn conjured and the wanted poster that, or not really wanted poster, the want ad poster that Tuppence rendered. You see what appears to be a human woman. She's small in stature. She's got kind of a short pixie cut, which is, dark in color, like a dark brown or a light black, something like that. And there's a streak of green kind of there in the front. She has these emerald colored eyes, which perfectly match a pair of gem-like earrings that actually hover underneath her earlobes. And as you look at her, she's holding the poster that Tuppence drew for Yurdot to put up in the staff room in one of her hands. And she has a thick tome under one of her other arms. And she's looking at you with slightly wide eyes as if she's just realizing that she's been seen. And she says, "Oh, I got your poster." And she holds it up.
Are you a bounty hunter?
What?
Is this
Bounty-
another trap for us?
No, nothing like that. No, I'm not a bounty hunter.
Insight check on
Do it.
her. Not
Mhm.
just to see if she's telling the truth, but kind of just to get a read on her surprise at seeing us.
I'd like to do the same.
What she thinks she's doing.
Also, Ethan, was it purposeful that you said this room doesn't have doors?
Yes.
Okay. I
But
caught
all
that.
rooms have doors.
Yeah, and
though.
I'm like, I can't be here.
This is
not
the
a
first
this is
room with
not
no
a real
doors.
room.
No.
Yeah.
18.
12.
Okay. I should have her stat block up probably.
Yeah, maybe.
Let me find that.
It's a choice.
Oh, wow. Okay. So you rolled an 18 and then Vert had what?
12.
12. Okay. The one thing I will say is that she doesn't look surprised to see you. She looks surprised that you can see her. But beyond that, she's a little bit inscrutable. Like, she's just appeared here and it's really hard at this instance to tell what like her motivations or anything like that would be. And she's just still assuring you, no, I'm not a bounty hunter. I promise.
Well, then why have you been watching us?
Oh, well, I've been looking for someone to help me out with something, and I saw the group
Why
of
not
you-
just come and talk to us? It's really suspicious what you've been doing. You can
Is it?
understand why we're a little hesitant.
Our rates are very reasonable.
Oh, I don't really have any money.
Oh.
I also didn't know. It was weird to watch people. I'm so sorry. I didn't. I apologize. I'm new around here. I don't necessarily know all of the traditions and customs. So.
What do you mean you're new around here? You're new to the Empire, or you're new to
Yes.
Alen'dal?
The Empire.
I see.
Insight check.
Insight check.
Yeah.
Yep, me too.
Oh, that's much better.
Mine is much better as well.
All right, how'd you guys do?
21.
22. Ha.
Yeah, there's definitely like a weird like dart of the eyes when she says the Empire there.
I just like fold my arms and just look at her like, really? Like,
I put a hand on my hip. Tilt my head. Raise my eyebrows.
Well, Tuppy will twirl the little purple swirl in her hair and then point to her green streak and I sit and say, you got really good taste in haircuts and you were really fun to draw. But what gives?
Well, thank you. I mean, I did see the poster and yeah, I mean, I'd be happy to share my secret. I don't know if it's helpful. This kind of just naturally happens, but yeah, what gives?
We're getting
what
a little
gives?
off subject here. I think
Trying
You
a
know,
different tact.
we are. I appreciate you very much, Tuppence. Thank you. We are very kind people who are very willing to help people like you, but we would appreciate a little bit of honesty up front. So why don't you start by telling us who you are and where you came from and what your problem is?
So
Speaking of honesty,
Mhm.
if you don't mind if I do a little thing right quick, and I pull up my my holy symbol of Bahamut upside down, and then right, and then I'm gonna cast Zone of Truth.
oh,
Oh,
snap.
no.
Okay, what's the save?
It's a charisma save of 12.
Okay, she's got.
I'm not a
decent
powerful
charisma.
spellcaster.
And that's everybody in this zone needs to make that Christmas.
That is
save.
correct.
And
Yep.
you're aware
Oh.
of whether people succeed or fail, right?
I'm not sure.
I
The
feel like
spell's
there's
description-
something like that in the spell.
The spell's description doesn't say one way or the other. I think it's a DM call.
Okay. For some reason, I thought that was in the spell description. I'll just say
Could
that you're
be.
aware.
And people can also choose to fail if they want to.
Or they can roll a -1 on their save.
Oh shoot.
So what
Or a
kind of save
natural
was
20.
it?
It was
The
a charisma.
charisma saving throw.
Your dad, you're aware that she succeeds her save.
And
but
Elwyn did.
yeah, and Elwyn did. I guess Embers failed.
Feels so bad.
I got a 13, so I also passed.
I got a 13 as well.
Barely.
Yeah.
What was the question that was last posed to her?
I said, why don't you tell us
All right.
who you are, where you come from, and what your problem is, and we'll see if you can help, if we can help you.
Well, okay, listen, I can't tell you I can't tell you everything. Some of it is a little bit top secret, but I can tell you some of that. Starting with my name, that's not top secret at all. I'm hold on, let me grab it. There we go. I'm Esmer. I like to go by Esme. You can call me Esme. As for why I've been watching you, really, it was just pure coincidence. I just, I saw the group of you, coming and going from the library, and I've been, looking into some things myself, but I'm really bad at research. I'm really more of a sit and watch and learn by watching type person, which is great. I found this book, which should let us do that. But I ran into some snags there too. And the group of you looked kind of, I mean, capable. So I thought maybe if I could, bring you in, you could help me out.
My name's Embers of White Ash. I'm from Nearest, and too many to list.
I don't know where that is, but hello, it's nice to meet you. What are the rest of your names, by the way?
Elwyn.
You can call me Cole.
Nice way to get
And,
around not lying, I guess.
Well, he passed though.
Mm,
I did pass.
yeah, that's true.
I am your dad.
Well, it's nice to meet you all.
Just like
So
you
what
are.
is it that you're researching?
Well, okay, listen, this is hard to say. So I have reason to believe that something is weird with the Emperor.
Hmm?
One Emperor Stratos,
Mhm.
Stratos. I've heard it pronounced several ways. I don't know what it is. It could be anything, but I really need to. I need to know more about, how he was in the past. All those years ago, back when he was first, active here in what's now this empire. So that's why I was hoping to get some information from this book, but it's tougher than I thought. So
Well, in the future, the polite thing to do would be to ask before you suck people into another dimension.
she pulls out a notepad and jots something down and says, "Okay, got it. That's really good information for someone who is totally new here. So thank you so much for that. I will make a note not to do that in the future."
Can I want to roll like another insight check on her.
Sure. What are you trying to find out?
Like, okay, so I got a 17. I'm trying to figure out, like, she says, like, I'm new here, and, like, is she really being real with us, like, right now? Like, she's actually being honest about her.
She matched your 17, so I'll give you the baseline of what you're asking for, which is she does seem earnest and forthcoming, though. I mean, it's pretty obvious that she's not telling you her whole story.
Okay.
Though, yeah, never mind. This will come up later, I'm sure. But for now, that's all you get.
Okay.
So if you didn't know the Emperor before, how do you know that he's being weird now?
It's just that I've heard, stories of how he was before. I kind of heard a lot of stories about that, in my past. And so, kind of coming here and seeing how he was here in the city for a little bit. I actually, I was not far from him. I actually got a good glimpse, but just seems different from the stories I heard. So I got a little worried. And
In what way?
the stories I've heard of him all depict him as, this man of, incredible integrity and charisma and wisdom and strength and just, positive energy. And that wasn't the vibe I got when I, was, I guess, observing him from the shadows, which is apparently rude. I didn't know. So would it have been less rude if I'd told him that I was watching him?
Yes, but more dangerous.
She makes another note in her notebook.
Why is it that the Emperor is a figure of interest to you?
Well, okay, so I'm just,
If
you'll
you're
learn
not
this
from
about
here.
me. I'm just kind of a really curious person, and I really latch on to one thing. That's not actually why I'm here. I was here for something totally different, but I should really be getting back to that. Anyways, I kind of had to know for sure if the stories that, I had heard about the man, matched the actual truth. And so I was trying to find that in the books. And like I said, I'm really bad at, reading's kind of boring for me. I'd rather, observe and watch. So yeah, I found this great book that I was hoping would let me do that. It just hasn't gone as intended,
Now we're here. What?
Speaking of, where is here?
Oh, this is, I don't really know what to call it, like an intermediary space. I'll take us where we need to go in a minute. I just wanted to make sure I answered all your questions here, I guess, first. We good?
You haven't, but something tells me you can't, or you're unwilling to.
She
And
nods.
it looks like we're all in a place of having no choice.
What
Well, I
was-
mean, if you don't want to help me, I can have the book spit us back out. That would be fine. I mean, I'd be disappointed. I'd have to go find someone else to help out, but
what was stopping you? What was holding you back from using the book before?
well, okay, so like I said, I'm really more of like a, hang back and watch type person. And this book kind of really requires you to get into the action, I guess. Its author apparently did some stuff, and he wants you to like reenact what he did.
So it's like a play?
A little bit. And some of it involves fighting, and I don't fight, so
Yeah, another reason it would have been courteous to let us know ahead of time and acquire our consent first before you pulled us headlong into this
she makes another note.
interdimensional space that could
Consent
be
before
quite
pulling
dangerous.
someone into interdimensional spaces. She underlines it.
Is this fighting or participating, as you call it, going to put us in real danger, or is this an imaginary space?
No, I mean, I've tried it a few times, and I always just get spat back out, when I get hit a little bit too much. So
I see.
Insight check. Are we in real danger? Oh yeah, that's pretty good. That's an 18 this time.
yeah, you're at least it seems like she's being very truthful about the fact that she has tried this a couple times and been spat back out when she
Okay.
got hurt. So yeah, you think she's probably on the up and up in that regard.
Well, in that case, it sounds like fun. Kind of sounds like a game.
Yeah, you can think about it like a game. Sure.
No, I've heard of people really getting into books, but this is a little silly.
Yeah, look to Cole and Embers and Tuppence. What do y'all think? What do you want to do?
I think this sounds like a lot of fun.
We're here. Might as well see it through.
Cole just sighs. It's like, I guess if everyone else wants to do it.
Coincidentally, I'm a little interested myself in this emperor, and I seem to notice a little strange things about him too when we caught sight of him on the train. So
Right? It's kind of weird.
I'd also be
Um,
interested if there's anything to learn from this experience. Although I'm going to be upfront and say I'm not a big fan of fighting myself.
I don't mind fighting at all.
As you guys were sort of talking about your positions on, actually going through with this or not, you get the sense that she was kind of watching all of you closely. Definitely like reading into your actions and your words and things like that beyond what you're doing and saying exactly. But she nods and says, okay, so despite my rudeness, everyone's on board?
But
And she
first,
kind of, yep.
you have to tell us who you really are.
I told you, I'm Esmir. Go by Esme.
Yeah, but you're hiding something. Why are you hiding things from us if we're gonna help you with this?
She kind of, so she's been kind of like a little bit awkward up to this point, but she turns her full body towards you, Cole, and kind of looks you in the eyes and says, all right, tell me who you are and what you're hiding.
Oops, snap.
Listen, everyone
If
has
we're
secrets.
helping you, I don't have to tell you more about me. We need to know what. No, but you might be putting us in danger.
Please don't ask me about my secrets right now.
Everyone has secrets. They don't always need to be told. What matters is the actions that people take.
Yeah, and we're about to do you a favor.
And that will tell me something about you. And if I learn about you that I can trust you, I'll tell you more about me. Fair deal?
He'll kind of like look back to the rest of everybody, see if
Put my
they're
arm
okay
on
with
his
it.
shoulder or my hand on his shoulder. Say, it's all right. She's
I'm
right.
not-
Everyone has their secrets.
I'm not an entirely trustworthy person. I've let secrets slip before.
Wait. People are keeping secrets?
In this zone of truth. Sorry.
As long as her secrets aren't going to put us into any danger, I think that she's entitled to keep them.
I will make you a promise right now. I have secrets that would put you in danger, but helping me accomplish my current task is not one of them.
That's a bit ominous.
I'm
Sounds
gonna
like we're
insight
on.
check that.
Sure, yeah, roll an insight check.
Yes. Dot my T's and cross my I's. That's a 19.
I mean, she's got like a smile on her face as she says that. It's a little bit off-putting. She rolled high on her check.
Of course she did. My highest roll, my highest bonus. And I have not succeeded very often with that. It's really
Yeah.
upsetting. It's
Well,
really upsetting.
knowing that he is the unpopular vote or opinion, he'll just shrug and say, fine, whatever.
Sounds like we're on to the next chapter.
You said it, and she
That was really funny, Tuppence.
I love
she
it.
holds up the big leather tome that she was keeping under her arm and starts flipping through it. And as she does so, it's like the space that you're in begins to fold and kind of oscillate as if you are on one big gray page and it like more pages keep turning past you. And with each one, you get like a glance of different like scenarios and environments, but finally it settles on a single page and a scene begins to unfold around you, kind of rippling out from your feet. It's a like a small town, probably, you know, a couple hundred citizens, maybe like 1,000 at most. No real big buildings or anything like that. It looks like, you know, probably mostly a farming community. Maybe they've got a couple other, you know, industries, like maybe there's some mines nearby or something like that, but really a small town. And it's night is coming on. You can see that the sun is going down, but there's a little bit of daylight left. And you're standing kind of in this town square. And as you look around, it is just pretty much silent and ominous. There's no people to be seen, and no people to be heard. No one is out on the streets. Can you roll me perception checks really quick?
How bright is it?
No, I don't think I will.
It's dark enough that you don't have disadvantage.
Thank you.
Oh, you're
Bad. Real bad.
Yeah, I don't think I'm going to do one either.
Oh no. Tuppy?
19.
That's pretty good. Embers?
It's better than my 13.
16.
Okay. Yeah, all three of you. It's silent and there's no one around, but as you look around, you do see, you know, faces in windows. The citizens of this town seem to be looking out, and you can sense like wariness and anxiety and fear in their eyes. I think it's Tuppy who rolled the 16, which was the highest.
19.
Oh, 19. Right. So you spot the only person who seems to be out and about. There seems to be an individual sitting in an alley on like a like a unfurled carpet or something like that, kind of tossing rocks against the wall. That's the only person you can see who is out in the city. Everyone else is in their houses, kind of looking out windows with anxiety.
Do you say wariness or weariness?
A little bit of both, but I think I said wariness.
Okay.
I will look at Esme and say, all right, where are we? Or should I say, when are we?
Esme has vanished.
Oh,
Hmm.
well then.
So, from the, I don't know, architecture and wherever's around us, can we kind of tell when or where we are?
Yeah, you can make like
Like
a
a
history
history?
check
Okay.
or
Yeah, I'll do that.
I also do that.
sure.
I mean, I'm not from here, but I
Oh,
do
the
have
natural one.
proficiency
It's not
in
bad.
history.
I got a 16. Oh, I can guidance myself too.
Ooh,
Hang on a
wait,
second.
can you?
Can I?
Do you have
Sure.
guidance?
Yep. From my ring.
Oh,
17.
well, I got a 24.
Never mind.
Boom.
I'm not from around here. Boom.
But I did study, and I am
I'm so
120 some years old, so
Yeah, you're looking around and I'm not sure how you figure this now. I'm not going to justify it. You think you're probably somewhere in like the northern half of the empire. And from the architecture and just, various other things you notice, like you can see the moon rising and the moon hasn't been shattered yet. So that's your clue that this is sometime in the past. And then you look at the architecture and you can guess that it is way in the past, probably hundreds, thousands of years ago.
Huh.
Okay, I guess I'll go over and talk to the person sitting in the alley
Okay.
and say, hi, I'm Tuppy.
The person sitting in the alley as you approach seems to be probably like a teenage Goliath man. He's very wiry, kind of thin and tall by the looks of it, and definitely like just the like starts of scruff coming in on his face for facial hair. He's got like bluish gray skin, and that seems to have like purple kind of undertones underneath there. And he sees you approach and says, well, brave of you to be out on the streets tonight.
Why? What's going on? We just came in.
Picks up another rock, kind of turns it over in his hand, throws it at the wall. Well, this is the night we're all going to die.
And
That's a weird name for a night.
I like you. You've got a sense of humor about all this. That's what I'm trying to do too.
I don't get the joke.
Well, it's all really a big sick joke, isn't it? We pay this dragon for months, years on hand. There's 1 month we can't make our due, and well, I'll bet you, just like all of the villagers seem to suspect, it flies down from that mountain tonight and burns the village. Everyone who's smart has gotten out of town, but half of us don't have anywhere to go. Leave here, you'll just end up in another one's territory anyways, right?
I see.
If it was my last night on Earth, I would be having fun with somebody.
Kind of need money to have fun with somebody.
Not at all.
And this guy turns out his pockets. There's nothing there. By the way, I'm Aro. Nice to meet you.
Hi.
I like on the book cover.
Yeah.
I I don't read much, you know? Gotta have money to buy books. Doesn't really do much
So-
good when a dragon's gonna burn you. So
What happened that you couldn't make your payment this month?
oh, I'm just a simple street urchin, so I don't really know the details, but I would say the mayor fucked up.
In what way?
Kind of
No
shrugs,
details. All right.
picks up another rock and throws it against the wall.
Where can we find the mayor?
Yeah, where's the mayor live?
Um, Aro laughs like a big belly laugh. Oh, the mayor packed up his family and left days ago. Probably been picked off by one of the dragons who's trying to establish territory in the wilderness around here. I'd wager anyone who goes out will find the wagon just, covered in ice or scorched with lightning bolts or melted with acid.
Which
Really
dragon?
not a good time to travel.
Which dragon lives up in this mountain?
I've got it in my notes.
I hope it's something normal, like Bob.
Jeffrey.
Why are they never named Bob? That's a good question. No, this one, she goes by Endar.
The Endar dragon?
Yep.
And
Big old red
Endar.
brute. And as he's talking, the sun has, completely sunk behind the mountains. The moon is starting to come up, and it is definitely getting on towards full-on nighttime. Well, listen, if you're
Well-
travelers, I'd recommend you get out of here. Or
Have
if
you-
you're fighters, get ready.
And what are you planning to do? You just going to throw your hands up and let the dice fall where they may?
You'd think that from talking to me, wouldn't you? No, I figure my best shot at, a good position in the afterlife is to do a little good before all's said and done. So all these scared people in their houses, I'm going to help them get out of here.
Well, then let us help you. What's your
Kinda-
plan?
Well, some of these houses are going to be on fire. That much I know for sure. There will probably be rubble flying everywhere. So I figure, I help get people out of their houses, kind of get them up to those hills over there. And he points off in the distance. Maybe the dragon by that point has had its fill of destruction and some people live. That's my plan.
When are you planning to start?
He kind of looks off in the distance and says, well, right about now. And he points, and you can see a massive form winging its way towards the town with fire in its jaws. This thing is 30, 40 feet from snout to tail, covered in spikes, just glistening in the moonlight.
I'll turn to the rest of the group. Sorry, you can keep your
No, go
description
on.
going.
That was it. That's it.
and say, all right, I have something of a half of a plan, but it might work. We're going to have to wrangle these people quickly and keep them within 30 feet of me. I can put a cover on us and we can try to sneak out of here before the dragon gets close enough to see us.
They're very unlikely to listen to me.
I'm looking at everyone. All right,
right.
go.
Okay. Everyone runs off.
Yep, we all
And I turn back to Arrow and I'm like, let's move. Let's do this.
He stands up like quickly, kind of like hops to the feet. I like it when a person's got a plan. I like you. And he starts dashing off. You're just basically trying to get people to come out and gather around you. Is that the plan?
Yep, because I can cast Pass Without Trace, and everyone within 30 feet of me will have a +10 bonus to their stealth, and then we can just
Okay.
leave.
Can I have each of you then make an initial persuasion check as you try and go around? I'll make one for Aro here.
Make one as well.
Oof, Aro.
Definitely guiding myself.
Yeah, I'll probably guide myself too. We'll see how.
Real
I did
glad
pretty
I
good.
guided myself.
I didn't need it, but I did it anyway. It was really good.
It's 15 for me in total.
That's pretty good.
The
And Cole?
guidance was 4.
25.
Oh, snap. Dang.
I got a
Embers?
4 on guidance too.
Right? I got a total roll of 1.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I don't know if your dad knows, but Embers has a -2 to her charisma modifier.
Yeah, I just rolling real low. Oof.
Tuppence, how'd you do?
Tuppence got a 16.
Okay. And Elwin?
Doing math in my head. For some reason, it's real hard right now. 26.
Okay. So the group of you begin to kind of disperse throughout this small town, going door to door, trying to get people out of their houses. And you're definitely met with initially some resistance, as like you basically have to, like, nobody opens their doors. You kind of have to barge in, and you see people either like cowering in corners, or some of them have gone down below like trap doors in their floors, and they're like peeking up, looking out at you, that sort of thing. And it takes some coaxing. Some of you do a lot better than others. Aro doesn't seem to be met with much luck either, Embers. Don't worry. Aro rolled a 3 on the dice. But the group of you managed to gather a group of citizens out in kind of, the main area, just in time for this dragon to sweep over the village for the first time. And it unleashes a torrent of fire that you can feel even from 30, 40 feet away. The heat off of it is just intense, and it burns through like the thatched roofs of several of these buildings. And the people around you just scream, erupt into screams, and begin running in different directions. And so now you have a whole crowd of people just like in a total panic around you. What do you want to do?
Tuppy, is there a way for you to calm them down? Can you get them to listen to you and follow you? We need to lead these people out of here.
Yep. Okay. Let's do an enthralling performance real quick.
Doesn't that take a minute?
Yeah, it takes
That
a minute.
takes a
full
minute. That takes a full minute. Okay. So let's cast suggestion.
It's probably one person, right?
Yeah, suggestion's just one person.
I mean,
Doesn't have to be a spell. Do you have any skills you can use or features?
There is actually a spell, I think, for this exact thing. I don't think any of us have it, probably.
I don't think any of us have that.
Do not.
Yeah, I mean, you're welcome to use skills too if you don't have spells here for anything.
Well, I also so this is the second time this has come up in the last couple episodes, but I do have a background feature that says the common folk make every effort to accommodate you and avoid your displeasure.
Mm-hmm.
So I have an idea if Tuppence can't figure anything out.
Well, Tuppence is calming by nature, so I feel like the people around me aren't panicking. So
maybe like
they're just
the one or
hungry.
two people right next to you, perhaps.
So I'm thinking of flying over and doing some kind of that's what I mean, some kind of inspirational thing.
If you want to do like start playing your lute to like get people's attention or something like that, you could make a performance check. That's something you could do.
Yeah, that's the kind of thing I was hoping you would do.
Okay. Oh, that's a bad one. Oh, but I have a +7. So even though that's a 9, it's a 16.
Okay. As you fly up into the air and begin strumming your lute, there's definitely a lot of people who are starting to like run in different directions, who you get their attention and they look up to you, but you can see the panic in their eyes. You've got their attention. They're probably going to bolt soon. But if someone has something to like direct them, now would be a good moment.
Yeah, all right. I will is there something I could climb up on to get some height over the crowd nearby?
Yeah, there's probably like a well or something like that in
Yeah,
Town Square.
I'll just jump up and I will just speak to the crowd and say, everyone listen, I know you're terrified, but we're gonna get you out of here. And I'm gonna start casting Pass Without a Trace and make a big show of it. So there's like above me, this kind of storm cloud kind of appears and the swirl of sparkling snowflakes. And it slowly goes out to a range of like 30 feet. And it's just like kind of a gentle wind of swirling snowflakes and like kind of misty fog and stuff. I'm saying, and I'll just say, everyone get into the fog and let's go. We'll protect you.
You can see like mystified, what's the word? Like awe on their faces. Make a persuasion check at advantage because you're using magic and a lot of these people have probably never seen it before.
Great.
Because the dragons haven't brought it yet.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I'm gonna re-roll this because it fell out of my tower. Not much better. Can I guidance myself as well? I guess I
Sure,
can't because
sure.
Pass Without a Trace is also
Well,
concentration.
I will guidance you.
Oh,
There you go.
thanks. Good, because I absolutely need it. Those are two real bad rolls. Oh, but that's another 4 on guidance. Yay. So that's a 15.
Okay. Yeah, people start, instead of darting the other direction, they begin to flock around you. And it seems to work to some extent because instead of coming back this way, the dragon does a loop and it flies for the other side of the village and basically does like a strafing line of fire on the other side of the village instead of coming for this where there's this big group of people. It seems to have worked for the moment.
All right. Aro or Arrow? Aro?
Aro, yep.
Aro, get us out of here. Come on, let's go.
Right.
Show us the way.
I was thinking those hills over there, probably the safest place. There's some caves there we can maybe hide in.
Great, let's go.
Okay. Yeah, Aro begins booking in that direction. But as you turn to like run down the village street that way, a figure stands in the street, kind of in the middle of it, facing you, looking up at the sky at this dragon. This figure is incredibly powerfully built. Hair cut close to the top of the head. A lot of features are kind of hard to make out in this dark gloom, but you can see that it's a masculine figure, and he seems to be wearing like leather sandals that go up into leather greaves, and for the outfit you can picture kind of like a Hercules warrior toga type thing, that kind of leaves the arms exposed. And he's carrying this big glaive in one hand that looks like it's made out of platinum, but the blade of it seems to be made out of some kind of tooth or bone. And he has this like cape that's kind of like a loose scarf-like thing in the front, but then it flows out behind. And it's dark, so it's hard to see color, but you can see that he seems to have scales that kind of twist up his neck one way and then up his neck the other way. And he's looking up at the dragon. And as he sees the group of you coming this way, he says, "Good, you've got them organized. Go, get them out of here. I'll deal with this." And he strides forward.
Great.
As
I'm gonna go ahead.
Oh, sorry. As we run past, I'm just gonna hope you figure this out, because this is kind of a lot, and I'm gonna cast Bless on him.
Nice. So he glows with a little bit of divine energy. In fact, tell me a bit about what that looks like for your Dodd.
So for your Dodd casting Bless, again, it's him fumbling around with his holy symbol because he doesn't really know what he's doing. And then he's going to clutch, and then he clutches the symbol of Bahamut, just real tight, close to his chest, and under his breath, he goes, all right, your son said to do it like this. Bahamut, help him. And then a little bit of like of platinum shimmer, because this is all from Bahamut, would come out of your Dodd's hand toward this Hercules dude.
This seems to be the power of your spell seems to be amplified somehow. There's more of that platinum shimmer than you've ever seen when you've cast this spell before. And it just, all of those shimmers just kind of dance around him, and he smirks and looks down at you and says, "Thanks, kid." And he looks back up at the dragon and starts dashing forward. And as all of you pass going the other way, you can recognize clearly from what the visage you've seen on the other side of coins, the form you've seen in statues throughout the empire. This is Emperor Stratos.
Had a feeling.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you begin to dash out of the town. Can each of you just make a quick what would be a good check? Like a dexterity check?
Had a stealth check with the +10 bonus from the spell that I just used to get everyone out of town.
Okay, yeah, actually let's do a stealth check then. Stealth check's good.
Thank you.
Cool.
Everyone gets to add +10 to it.
Maybe +10, but I'm still at disadvantage.
I almost got another one. This close.
How'd everyone do?
34.
Oh, dang.
33.
You're done?
20.
Disadvantage, that is a 21.
Nice.
Tuppence
22.
and Elwin.
19.
Aro rolled a 28, so that's pretty good. The group of you begin to lead this group out of the town, and pretty much everyone seems to be sneaking along quietly with you. You can see like parents are like trying to like hush their children and keep them calm. A couple people have even brought like pets along with them that they're trying to keep quiet. And this group makes it to the edge of the village and begins to head for those caves. But you look back and you can still see there are a few groups of people. Like you see one group of people that seems to be trapped in like a burning building. There's someone who seems to have like a leg trapped under a bit of rubble. There's a couple citizens who seem to be cowering in an alley, just like paralyzed with fear. So there's still a few left in town. What do you want to do?
I have to stay with the big group until they get to the caves, but you guys should go. Go
Alright.
help those people. Bring them here.
Embers, can I catch a ride?
Sure.
I'll come join you once I get these people to safety.
All right, Embers breaks off in a run, carrying Tuppy.
Which of those ones that I described do you want to head for? The people trapped in the burning building?
Yeah, the one trapped in the building is what I was going to say.
So your Dodd's gonna run for the person with like that's being crushed under something.
Yeah. Coco will go with your Dodd.
Okay. You make your way towards those buildings and you can see that Stratos has basically leaped or climbed somehow onto one of the rooftops and is basically standing there with the glaive in hand, waiting for the dragon to make its next strafe. And when it does, he leaps up with like an inhuman leap and lands on its back and plunges the glaive down into its back. And the thing lets out like a horrible roar. And there's this tongue of flame that erupts from its mouth as this happens. What do you want to do when you reach these people?
Embers is gonna start shouting. Is it follow my voice? Everyone needs to get out. Follow my voice.
What kind of check do you want to make?
Can I get it with advantage from Tuppence helping me?
I would say if like Constitution is better than like a persuasion check, you could
Yeah.
make a check against like all the smoke in here or something like that.
Yeah, that's marginally better. Okay, that's a
Oh, the
16.
sound of the music. Smell the brownies.
What was it, Embers?
16.
Okay. Yeah, you're kind of coughing up smoke a little bit, but you managed to, despite that, shout out into this building. And you begin to see a couple people sort of crawling underneath the smoke towards you. Yeah, and you managed to lead them out and out of the building into safety.
Okay.
Your Dodd and Coco.
Does the rubble and stuff look like we could lift it off or roll it off of these people?
Probably. It looks pretty heavy, but you could probably manage it,
So
especially between the two of you.
looked at your Dodd and be
Let's
like,
do it.
ready? All right.
And lift.
And do you want me to help him, or is it like, how do you want to do this check? Ethan?
Oh, me. I thought you were asking Jordan. Yeah, you can help him.
Okay, I'm gonna help you because I'm assuming you have way better strength than me.
I sure do. Do you want this to be strength or athletics?
If you've got athletics, do it with athletics. That's good.
Okay, cool. Then that's gonna hot dog. That's gonna be a 19.
Yeah, so your Dodd doing most of the work. Rook kind of just there to apply, or Vert there to apply some leverage.
Who's Rook?
Who's Rook?
Yep, who's Rook? Rook doesn't exist anymore.
It's all of my characters.
Coco. I think you mean Coco.
Go.
You manage to lift this bit of rubble and pull it off. The person still does seem to have, like, it looks like their legs been crushed. They're not going to be able to like walk on their own for the moment.
If I cure wounds them, would that?
Yeah, that could help.
Okay.
Oh, by the way, the group of you
My
could have
thoughts
taken like
exactly.
a long rest before this if you had expended anything. Just in case. So like I know Tuppence had used bardic inspirations and things like that. So you can
Okay.
have those.
Sorry, Jordan. Did you want to do something instead? Either one of us.
Oh
could
no, I was
cure
gonna
him.
do the exact same
Oh,
thing.
okay. Yeah. So I'll cast Cure Wounds on this individual. Try and heal their legs so they can gather. Okay, that's average. 8 healing.
That's really good. I mean, for a common individual, yeah. You see the leg bones and all of that begin to mend a little bit, and the person is able to stand on their own and kind of looks at you and goes, "Thanks."
And then I'll point say that way towards the hills. The others are
They
waiting.
take off in that
There's
direction.
a cave. Yeah.
Across the way, you can see that Aro is talking hurriedly with the people cowering in the alley and is slowly getting them to move in the direction of the caves. And as the group of you kind of reassemble in the caves, you have a view of the town, which is now at this point pretty much entirely ablaze, but most of the population has been, evacuated. And you have this view of this incredible battle that is happening in the skies over this town, as this one individual is just like, the dragon will reach back and like pull him off of the back in one of its claws. And then he, kind of like flexes his way out of that and is falling, hundreds of feet, but somehow manages to land it. There's just this incredible battle happening. And as you're observing it, you can feel the pages beginning to turn again as a new scene begins to unfold. This time, you find yourselves on what seems to be like a dilapidated stone tower. There's like a stairway descending downward that kind of goes into the rock a little bit. Looking out over a city by a lake. And a slightly older version of Aro is standing there on top of the tower with you. It seems like he was a little bit scruffy before, and probably in his teenage years. Now he seems to be like a full adult, and his facial hair is maintained into like a fine goatee. And you can see that he unlike, before when he was wearing kind of like beggar's clothes and things like that, the clothes of an urchin, he seems to be wearing like these fine robes, and he's carrying a staff now. And he's looking out over this town. And as he looks over the town and the group of you kind of follow his direction, you can see that there are two more large dragons. This time, one has white scales and one has blue scales. And they seem to be doing battle with not just a single individual, but a group of individuals. There's like archers positioned on roofs firing off at them. And you recognize the sort of very flashy fighting style of Stratos from the previous scene among them, but he's not alone this time. And this group is fighting the two dragons. And Aro sees the group of you and says, "Oh, hello there. I am Aro the Incredible. Some have called me Aro the Amazing or Aro the Stupendous."
Do you remember us?
No, unfortunately I don't. Should I?
Oh, I wasn't sure how this book worked.
I do read quite a bit, but I have no idea what you mean by this book. I assume you've been sent to help?
Yes, I reckon we have been.
Excellent.
Okay.
Well, our targets should be here shortly. You understand the mission, correct?
No,
Oh.
no one has told us what we're here to do.
New recruits. Okay, well, Stratos and his dragonborn forces will have the two adult dragons distracted over in the city. Their wormlings are going to be winging this direction, and they're our job.
All right.
And our job is
Just kind of like looks at you and nods.
to kill them.
If we can, capture is acceptable too.
Okay.
All right. And do we have any plan on how we're going to do that? Or do we know how many of them there are?
There'll be two twins, mixed lineage pair. So you better be, I hope you've prepared to deal with the cold breath and the lightning breath. Kind of looks around
Find
the
out.
group of you. No? All
I've
right.
got a thing for that. The cold breath, at least.
Well, that's good. Because here they come. And he kind of points out over the horizon, and you can see a pair of small dragons making their way this direction. And I will drag you onto the screen and roll 20.
Drag us on.
I will
Do we still
drag
have
you on.
a little bit of time? Like I'd like step into my armor and stuff like that.
Yeah, you've got probably like a minute of if you want to do some prep work here.
Okay.
Bahamut, help us, and I'll cast Bless on Embers, Elwyn, and Coco.
Thank you. Also, my
And
armor.
that's the one that's attack rolls and saving throws, right?
Correct.
Cool.
You add a D4 to all those.
Sweet.
I liked it better when we were researching with Bless.
I'm going to cast enhance ability on Embers.
Hoo-hoo.
I'm going to give you Bear's Endurance, which gives you 2d6 temporary hit points.
Nice.
I'm not sure how much a Constitution check is going to come up, which you would have advantage on, but I figured you would like to have the temp hit points. So
For
I'll
sure.
roll it.
Okay.
I'll roll it for you.
Also, I've reshaped
8.
my armor to look like that of the Cold Lake Clan's armor.
Cool. Yeah, I think we talked about that when you were originally doing the disguise.
Mhm.
While you're all doing your preparations, Aro's just kind of standing there, arms folded and nodding. And he starts to kind of monologue a little bit. And he goes, "Yeah, I wasn't always as amazing and incredible as I am, but I'd like to think I've really grown into it.
You used to
You
be
know?
an urchin on the streets of a very threatened city.
You know my history, don't you? I see I've got a fan. That's just what you'd expect from Aro the Fantastic. Yeah, since then I've done quite a bit here with Stratos and his little rebellion. So, he's even sent me on a couple solo missions, do my own little thing. But sometimes he calls on me when he needs some help for things like this. So I would say I'm pretty dependable. Could call me Aro the Dependable. And then
would you say Stratos calls you or beeps you when he wants to reach you?
Oh my god.
Aro
Blast from the
cocks his
past.
head to the side, very confused.
Aro the possible.
Aro possible. Before I can get into any more annoying territory, let's roll initiative.
Okay,
All right, I'll switch over to the battle map.
Tuppy wanted to cast Mantle of Inspiration too.
Oh, okay.
So 3 of you get 5 temp HP.
Well, you don't have to give it to Embers because I gave her
Yeah, it doesn't
10
stack, so
HP.
I'm just
Okay.
stick with the 8.
So then it can go to
Your
Coco
dot
and me and
and-
your dot.
Mhm.
It's 5.
5 temp HP.
Great.
Love it.
Thank
And
How did-
you can oh yeah, they're not here yet, but you can move without getting an OA.
How did all of you do? Let's start with Embers.
19.
19 and Elwin.
I rolled another natural 1.
Oh,
That's 2 tonight.
It's been going
Alright.
around. I've also rolled 2 tonight.
Two dice that are extremely similar in color. So that's a 3.
okay. Tuppence.
19.
19. That's pretty good.
Yeah. First place.
Coco.
Coco got a 14. I have Soul
and-
with me, right?
Yes.
And Soul got a 10.
Well, I think
Or a
Soul
12.
just goes right after you, doesn't
Oh, okay,
he?
that's fine. Yep.
And your dog?
Technically 0.
Technically 0. Okay. Cool.
Yeah, that -1 to initiative's really getting at me now.
Well, these dragons seem to have winged within a reasonable distance, and Embers, you are the first to act.
Okay. Let's see, how close can I get? I can not get within melee distance, but I can get up to about. Well, is any of this difficult terrain?
No, these like things here on the edges are like slightly raised walls.
Okay.
But it's not really difficult terrain. No.
Actually, I could get within melee range. So yeah, I'm gonna get right up here. And 3 attacks. For any key point.
Okay. As you get right up close, you can see that these dragons are sort of a mix of blue and white scales that kind of blend and swirl around each other. And they seem like nearly identical. They seem to be a pair of twin dragons.
Okay. Does a 14 hit?
Let's take a look. No, not quite.
How about a 15?
Not quite.
Okay. But surely a 22 will hit.
Yes.
Okay. Wait, I get to add a d4 to all those, don't I?
Yes, you do.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Then let me do that. See if that worked. Does a 16 hit?
No, not quite.
Okay. Does a 17 hit?
17 does.
We found it. We
That's
found
the
the
AC.
AC.
There's no way.
Yes. No, I rolled a 2 on both of those, and there were a 7 and an
Oh,
8,
that's
and they
incredible.
became a 9 and a 10. So there it is.
That's amazing.
So 2 hits there for
You
you.
sunk his
Yeah.
battleship. Nice job.
For 12 damage.
Okay.
Bludgeoning.
This dragon seems surprised to see the group of you at what seems to be their nest. There's like a collection of like dragon egg shells and things like that kind of in the middle. But it wings directly into your 2 fists, and you kind of like its jaw goes reeling upwards as you punch it.
And my
Cool.
turn.
Tuppence.
Okay, how far apart are those two dragons?
Let's take a look. If only I could get the ruler out. There we go. Looks like about 25 feet.
Okay,
20 feet apart. Yep.
Embers is kind of in the way of what I wanted to do.
Sorry,
Um,
melee character. I'll do that.
so what I'm wondering is if I can get in such a position to cast sleep on the other one that she's not by.
You could try. Though I will
Uh,
say these dragons look like they have quite a few hit points.
Yeah, well, I can, if I do it at second level, it's 7d8.
That's true. If you want to try it. It might be a safer
Okay.
bet if like you waited until they'd been whittled
Yeah.
down a little bit, you know?
Yep, I'll cast Bane instead.
Yeah, Bane.
Yeah, Bane.
Good call.
You can probably get both of them, huh?
30 feet. So I gotta move it a little closer.
And then it's a charisma save.
Charisma.
Well, I've got a 14 and a 13.
They both fail.
Oh, snap.
Yes.
Okay, I'll mark them as baned.
Alpha.
This is not going well for me already.
You're on our team though. It's going great for you.
That's true.
Okay,
yeah.
so they have to subtract a d4.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I like being in a fight where we're blessed and they're baned.
Is Aro fighting with us? Speaking of.
So the interesting thing about Aro, it seems like Aro is almost like an illusion. Now that you see him in sort of a battle situation, before when he was, interacting with the people of the town, it was kind of harder to tell. But his actions seem like they don't actually do anything to these dragons. Like he's throwing spells and things at them, but it seems like if the group of you weren't here and taking action, nothing would happen.
Interesting.
You are effectively reenacting the thing that he did.
This is a weird question. Do we look like ourselves, or are we stepping into somebody else's shoes?
You look
was
like
here?
yourselves.
Okay.
Yep. Okay, it is the dragon's turn. The one that is in front of Embers will open its mouth. Oh, wait, hold on.
He closes
Hold on.
his mouth.
Hold on. Where did my
He
ruler
lets
go?
out a giant burp.
Yep.
He opens up just the left side of his mouth.
And his left eye is a little watery.
Thank you for reminding me.
Perfect.
Jordan, you weren't here, but I was telling him I scratched my eye, so my left eye is like constantly getting like teary. That's
Love
where
it.
that's coming from, yeah.
If the wormling cries a little bit, would you say it's kind of blue?
It would be a little blue. The one that is next to Embers opens its mouth and you can see lightning crackling in its jaws. And it unleashes a bolt of lightning that flies straight forward. And I need Embers and Yurdod to make dexterity saves.
Great.
It's gonna go better than my charisma tish, I tell you that.
Should
Oh,
do.
with bless.
With bless. It's a 19.
That'll pass.
It's a 5.
That won't pass. So for Embers, that's 5 points of lightning damage. For Yurdod, that is 10 points of lightning damage. And for Yurdod, you're also stunned.
Great.
Yep. Until the start of the dragon's next turn.
Oh, but don't worry. I did hold concentration on bless.
Nice.
Very good. This white dragon here is going to wing its way kind of into the arena a little bit, and it perches on this little outcropping of stone, and will Perfect. Where's my draw tool? There we go.
Why do you always kill Soul in the first round?
I don't know. I just do.
It's so mean.
Is this circle going to snap? It's not going to snap. No, I wanted it to snap. How do I make it snap?
He can't do it. The universe is saying no.
Surely there's a way to make this circle snap to grid.
Shift or something, or control.
Oh, it is like control, isn't it? It's shift. Okay, cool. This area, basically a ball of cold energy, it opens its mouth and a ball of cold energy begins to form between its jaws, and then electricity leaps up around it, and this ball of mixed cold and electricity forms, and it lobs it in your direction, and where it hits the ground, there's just like a splash of ice that is electrified all around, and I need you to make a, I think it's another dexterity saving throw for this one.
Okay. I got plus bless 16.
That's a pass.
Sweet.
So you take 3 points of lightning damage and 3 points of cold damage.
Okay. And Soul.
And then when you start your turn there, something else will happen.
Soul also got a 16.
So same thing.
But he has evasion, so he'll take 0 damage.
Oh, nice.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That's the dragon's turn.
All right.
So Coco, you're up.
All right. What happens on my turn?
Oh, I need a Constitution saving throw.
Oh, okay. So is it because I'm standing in it, or is it just like a volume, like a Soul?
It's because you're starting your turn there.
Okay, so Soul also has to do this too?
Mm-hmm.
Okie dokie. Constitution, that is 14.
That's a pass.
And Soul got a 15.
Okay, both passes. So no damage, but the electricity continues to basically ripple through this area.
Well, we're not going to be there much longer, my friend. So I'm going to move. Oh, I can get right up to him. All right, I'm going to just do a running thunder gauntlet on this guy. Oh, thunder, is that? He's using lightning. Thunder's different.
Lightning
we're
and thunder are different. Yeah.
And Soul is going to go way over here.
Get out of there.
Yeah, doesn't want to be there, and he's going to use a force strike. So
Pew,
I'll use my
pew.
bonus action. Yeah. So here's the thunder gauntlet. That is probably gonna miss. Let's see. That's a 3. 9 plus 7. So what? No, 9 plus 6.
Misses.
9 plus 6.
Mhm,
Yeah, 15.
that's a miss.
Okay, so whiff for me, and then Soul. Also whiff for Soul.
Oh,
And that's my turn.
Elwyn then.
Great. All right. I think I have not made up my mind what I want to do. But
I can see
I
your
am-
line going all over the screen.
oh, it's supposed to be hidden.
Hmm,
I guess only the DM can see it.
maybe that's what
'Cause
it is.
I've been measuring a lot of stuff over here in the background, trying to figure out what I'm doing. I'm going to start out by casting Frostbite on the white one because he's within 60 feet of me, just to see what that does.
Okay, what kind of save is it?
It's a con save. DC is 15.
Natural 1.
Oh,
Hey.
It does have resistance to cold damage.
yeah, I figured. Okay, so this is 1d6 cold damage, but it will also have a disadvantage on it the next weapon attack roll it makes before the end of its next turn.
Cool.
And I rolled a 6.
So half down to 3.
Half down to 3.
Remind me about that disadvantage if I forget.
If I remember, I will do that. And then I think I'm going to move like maybe right here. And keep an eye on things. from back here.
You bump into something invisible as you move there.
I
And
do.
You hear Esme go, "Hey!"
Is she in the face or is she?
No, you
Okay.
bump her out of the space. It's fine. She moves out. of your
Okay.
way.
All right. I've been hi. Sorry, a little busy.
You're doing great. This is all great notes.
That's my turn.
That's hilarious, by the way.
Yeah.
Okay. You're done.
I'm stunned.
That's right. I'm sorry. Um, yep. Okay. So we'll move on from your turn. In the distance, though, while you're stunned, you can observe a stunning display of combat. You can make a perception check. We can just do this way. We'll see what you see. You're muted, but I saw you throw a dice, so I'm assuming
right.
not great.
People don't. Right, I forget that I'm on a show where people don't see it. Yeah, that die is across the room now. Because that's a whole 5.
Yikes. Yeah, it's hard to make out what's happening. You can see the glittering off of whether it's armor or like scaled humanoid figures who are firing their bows and things like that from the roofs of the city. You can also make out there's one bulkier figure who you presume to be Stratos, who is basically like fending off claw and bite attacks from 2 of these dragons at once with this big glaive, but that's like all you see.
Great.
Cool. I'm so sorry.
That
Embers,
die is
you're
just
up.
gone.
Embers is going to move around the dragon and resume her assault, but just make it so that it has to.
So I guess I should have stated, if you go that far, that's like open space and a big fall.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's like this kind of edge here. I'll try and ping it. That's like the edge of this giant stone tower that you're
Okay.
on. And then like down here is field and trees and stuff. That's
Can I go this far up to the lip of the cliff?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, cool. And then I'll spend another key point, make 3 attacks. And that's exactly what I'm aiming for this time. Oh, and I've got to get the D4s in there too. All right. Oh, that's terrible. That's a 1 and a 2 on die, which no amount of
No.
bless is going to help. So I do 1 hit for minimum damage. It's another 6 bludgeoning.
Hey, every little bit helps.
All
You
of my
punch
damage has
into
been
one of
minimal
these,
damage so far.
the dragon's wings, and it kind of roars and flies off a little bit the other way. Then it is Tuppence.
Okay. Well, let's go dissonant whispers.
Is that a wisdom save?
Yep, wisdom save.
Wow. That's another natural 1 for a save from these guys.
What is with
Which
all the
one-
ones tonight? On
Which
both
one were you
sides?
targeting?
The white one.
Okay. I've differentiated them for your guys' purposes, but they do both have like both blue and white
Yeah.
scales. So
I appreciate it.
yeah.
Okay, so you said you failed.
Yes. This is the one where it has to fly away, doesn't it?
Okay, so that is 9 psychic damage. And as far as its speed away from us.
Yeah, it's got a 60-foot fly speed, so it basically flies off the map this way, away from Rook, whose name I should change.
Yeah.
Can I get an opportunity attack?
So you wouldn't with forced movement, but this is like it has to use its movement,
Yep.
right?
That's
So
the
yeah,
good-
you would.
That's the cool thing about that spell.
All right, well, I shall. Round 2. Oh, I said round 2, and I rolled a 2 and a 2.
Oh,
So I need to not speak numbers. I need to be like round 20.
whoosh,
And then
another
the D4
loud boom
rolls a
of
20
thunder.
and a miss again. All right, cool. I'm doing great.
All right, their turns then. Blue one gets breath back. Let's see about white one. I've just dropped my D6. Wow, they both get their breath back. I made these dragons so that their breath does less damage, but they get it back more often. Yeah, this white one here is having fun fighting embers, I guess. So it will open its mouth and cold energy begins to form there, and a blast of like icicles and hail comes shooting out. And I need from embers a Constitution saving throw.
Yep, bless with this. Does a 16 pass?
It does.
Nice.
So you only take 7 points of cold damage.
3, because I resist cold
Oh,
damage.
right. Actually, hold on. It was, yes, so 7 down to 3. Very nice. And the squares around you become difficult terrain until the start of its next turn.
Okay.
And then this dragon down here will hover off the side of the tower and yeah, I could make it that far. And shoot. Actually, you know what? Tuppence is the one who.
That one has disadvantage on its weapon attack.
Yeah, but it's going to use its breath weapon.
Okay.
Breath weapon attack?
It's not an attack, though. It's a save.
I know.
Yeah, so Tuppence, can you make a dexterity saving throw? As lightning crackles in this one's jaw.
Dex, you say? What the dex? Ooh. Okay, 13 plus. $17.
Okay, pass. So 7 points of lightning damage, and you are not stunned. That's their turns. Vertinor, you're up.
You mean Coco?
Yes, Coco.
Is the path in front of me here, is this difficult terrain, or is it just I can freely run up and down that area?
Yeah, you can just freely run up and down it.
Okay, so that means I can reach this guy, and I will get right up to him again and try once more.
Like I explained to Embers, sorry, this is kind of the edge of the cliff.
Oh,
If
so
you
I
go
can't go
past
over there?
that, yeah, it's flying
Sorry, I missed
off
that.
the edge of the tower. So
Okay, I'll stay
I mean,
back
the
here.
furthest you could
Wanna
go is
Wile E.
like right
Coyote
here.
it?
I think I can get a good hit off before I fall and make a Wile E. Coyote shaped hole
You
in the
could
ground.
jump for it and like grab onto it.
I was thinking about that, but that's not a good idea. Not because someone's
Thorin's done
shaking
it.
their head, but yeah. So I'll just shoot a firebolt, and Soul will also come over here. Actually, I think he could be about here, and he will also fire a bolt of something.
Okey-doke.
Okay, come on. Round 20. Nope, that didn't work. Okay, so what is that? That's a 1, so that's 14. This will hit at least. It's a 21 to
Mhm.
hit. That's pretty good. Firebolt is a 1d10. So there we go. That's 4 damage. Pew. And then Soul. Oh, wow. Rolled a 3. So pew, off it goes.
Pew, the bolt of force.
Pew.
You guys are slowly whittling away at these dragons, though. You can see that they are taking some damage. Anything else for Vert?
Nope.
Elwyn.
I was shaking my head because I never get a chance to use Ice Knife because y'all are always up in their business, except when I don't know that you're there and it explodes and it hits you. And now I have an opportunity to use it. So don't you dare go jump on the back of that wormling. Let me have this. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna move like right here. I think that was safe.
Yeah,
And
looked
then-
like it.
Yeah, and then I'm perfectly 60 feet away, so I can shoot an ice knife at the picture that is white, but it's actually one of the identical twins that I have no idea what they look like. I get to make a ranged spell attack, so I get to actually utilize this bless. That
Blessed.
hashtag blessed. Here we go. Oh no. What is my bonus to this spell to hit? Where does it
Something
say
big,
that?
something
Plus
big.
7. Okay, so 16?
16.
That wasn't enough, was
it's
it?
just a miss. Shoot,
Okay,
I got
but
excited
it's
for a second.
still, I know. I was like, oh, it just went away. Okay. But even on a miss, it explodes.
Yes.
So the creature needs to make a dex saving throw.
It's got Bane on that.
Yes, it does. Thank you for the reminder. That Bane
Thank
was
you.
good. I rolled a 4 on the Bane.
You always do that somehow.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, how does our inspiration
Um,
rules work now? I forgot.
If you guys see someone do something
Is it
cool,
we just get to you get it?
give them inspiration.
All right.
I guess I should have explained that rule to you, Jordan. Since I'm bad at inspiration, if
I've
any
been watching.
okay, yeah, if any player sees someone do something cool, just like shout inspiration at them.
Bahamut's inspiration.
Okay, well, I rolled a 15 plus 0 minus 4 for an 11. So
Oh, that's a failure. But you're probably going to take half damage anyway because it's cold damage, but that was
Mhm.
7 cold damage.
half down to 3. The ice knife clatters against its scales, but then explodes, and some of the shards catch it under the jaw. Okay.
That's all I got.
Your Dodd, the rod.
Yep. So I'm gonna just move right up here, near Tuppence, just kind of stepping up on the rubble here. Grab my my holy symbol of Bahamut and cast spiritual weapon, saying,
Nice.
Oh,
that's
yeah.
my boy. And I want to, let's see. Yeah, it's within range. Here, my spiritual weapon will pop up.
Yeah, you can draw something in that space if you want, just like a square or whatever. What does the
Yeah.
weapon look like?
It is a silver statue of a half orc boy, looking to be about almost 6 feet tall, wearing a tabard of Bahamut with a large quarterstaff in his hand.
Your son shows up, joins the
Yep.
battle.
Oh my god. It's just gonna like bonk his body against the dragon? Is that how it
Yep.
like...
Yeah, that'll do.
Oh my god.
That's where it is.
Perfect.
And yeah, so I'll swing for that attack.
Take inspiration.
Thank you.
That's awesome.
That's an 18 to hit.
That hits.
And that's 8 force damage.
The dragon roars in pain at that as your son clubs it with the staff. Sweet.
And that's my turn. Yeah.
Okay. Embers.
Okay. Gonna go for another full set of 3 attacks against this thing. And as she does so, Embers says to it in common, in the spirit of honesty, I should tell you that your cold attacks just don't work very well against me. I would stick with the lightning.
You're not under the zone of truth anymore, Embers.
Yeah,
It lasts for 10 minutes.
No, but it's just in that area.
Oh, it's just in that area?
Yeah.
So the question is, have you actually moved?
Yeah, that's the
Oh.
thing. Like we're kind of still there.
Good point.
Okay.
So I guess, yeah, maybe it is still in effect.
Also, it's really funny this way. No, I still rolled 2 really bad
No,
attacks. That busted
Embers, you're
me,
killing me.
but I also crit.
Okay, well, there you go.
So there I go. Now I need to roll something above minimum, which I did, thankfully. So that is 11 bludgeoning damage.
Phew. Both of them are actually looking pretty well damaged at this point.
Mine should be dead. If I could hit more than once every 3 attacks.
Yeah, it would be. That's for sure.
I've only
Tuppence.
hit once, so
Okay. Mm. Okay. Let's go one more dissonant whisper on. Well, no, that one moves then.
Opposite end of the spectrum, it's a natural 20 on this save. So I think that's just half damage.
You bane it.
I didn't bane it, but it is a -4. What is it, wisdom?
Yeah.
So that brings it to an 18 total. So
Okay. So then it's still fail save on a past, half damage, and doesn't move away. Okay.
and this is the white token again.
Actually, I was gonna do the one by
Oh,
Embers.
the one by embers. Okay.
Okay, so it's 9 halved.
Half down to 4. That one is slightly more injured than the other. Anything else on your turn?
I am going to that was an action, and Misty Step
Is a
doesn't
bonus action.
is a bonus action. So I'm gonna Misty Step out of there and go.
But it's also a full spell, not a
Yeah.
cantrip.
That's the
But I
other
had
thing.
it's my ability though.
It's still technically a spell though.
Okay.
You're not next to one. You can just move.
This
Or
is
did
true.
you use all
I
your
will.
movement already? You don't need to.
Oh, I
Misty
didn't
Step.
move. I didn't move.
Yeah, then you don't need to waste a spell slot to Misty Step or a feature or whatever. Just
Okay, just gonna move further away then.
Okay. Well, neither of them gets their breath back. So they are going to fly into melee.
come to me. Does the spirit weapon, or sorry, does your son get a opportunity attack?
Don't think
Nah,
your son
spiritual
would.
weapons do not.
Do not? Okay.
One of them flies up to, or kind of lands next to embers and begins to rake at you with its claws and bite at you with its mouth. The other one lands next to your dot and will do the same.
I think they still have disadvantage on this.
Yes.
And they have Bane.
One of them, so the white token has disadvantage on its first one, I believe. And then they all have Bane on all of them, correct?
Yep.
Okay. So the bite attack first for the white one, give disadvantage on that. Natural 1, that's a miss. And then just the regular baned one for the claw is 17 plus 5 for 22 minus 1, 21. Still a hit on your dot?
Yep.
Okay. The claw isn't as bad as the bite, so that's good. You take 6 slashing damage, and that's it.
Oh, that's not bad at all.
And then against embers, another natural 1, so that's a miss.
Yep.
And another, I mean, this is a miss. I don't even know why I'm bothering adding it. Because it's 5 on dice plus 5 for 10 minus 1 for Bane. So yeah,
It's a mess.
2 misses against embers. You are dodging and weaving as this thing claws and attacks at you in desperation. They've kind of gone back to back and sort of entwined their tails together. Coco.
All right. Coco cracks his knuckles. And he gets in there for the brawl again. Come on. Come on, Coco. One hit. Just hit one time in this combat, please. Oh, this is going to be close. I think that did it. 18 on the
That
white
hits.
one. Yes. All right. And that is a D8, I think. Yep. Ha. Big 2. All right. 3 damage. Is that really? Oh, no. Sorry, it's plus my int. So it's plus 4. So 6 damage.
6 damage.
I saw the
Sweet.
strength one. It says minus, or said I thought it was a +1. I'm like, ooh. And then soul.
By the way, I've been meaning to ask, did I set it up properly? Can you see their health bars or no?
No.
Okay, well, that's fine.
Soul misses again with his bolt. He it's not
Wait,
having
actually,
a
it's
good
a
day.
good thing if you can't see their health bars. That's what I wanted. Sweet. Okay.
Let's move up Soul a little bit.
Soul's force bolt goes wide.
Yes. And so the one I just hit has disadvantage on
Against
its next
anyone but
weapon
you,
attack.
right?
Correct.
Oh no. Okay,
I think that's right. Yes, other than you.
then it is Elwyn's turn. Everyone's too close for an ice knife.
Yep. I mean, I could ice knife, but I'd hit a lot of people. I'm not going to do that. I think I'm going to, let's see, I'll move up a little bit like here. And I'm going to just frostbite the white one again. Con save.
Right.
Gained con save.
2 on dice. It's a fail.
Nice. All right, so you're going to take half of this.
Oh, yeah, because of resistance.
2 on dice, so 1.
1
Full
damage.
Just plinking along over here.
Yep.
That's
And
everybody.
Yeah.
plink, plink, plink. And but it'll, I mean, if it doesn't have enough sources of disadvantage already, its next weapon attack roll before the end of its next turn is with disadvantage.
These poor dragons. Okay, you're
That's my
done.
turn.
All right.
Wait. How is everyone looking health-wise?
I
Is
think
everyone
we're all
still fine?
okay. Yeah.
I haven't taken any real damage. It's all been temp HP.
Are you okay, Tuppy? You're muted, but I see it looks like you're nodding.
Yeah, I put it on there. I'm only down 7.
Okay, because I could throw a healing word at you if you were in trouble, but looks like people are good, so that's my turn.
Okay, your dad, the rod.
I accidentally deleted the placeholder for your son, but
That's okay.
With my bonus action, I moved my spiritual weapon up to 20 feet, which can land him there.
I was gonna say he'll be with us in spirit.
Well done. And with that movement, I can also command it to attack. So I'll look at the white token and just that's my boy, and have your son kind of statue swing at it. Because it's still like a
like an
frozen
action figure.
statue.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
the whole
exactly. His whole body. Yeah.
like an army man.
Yeah.
no.
That's
Exactly.
why I was cracking up the whole time. Like his whole body's just smash into it.
Judo
So
chop.
funny. Oh my god.
Let's see. That's a +4, so that's a 16 to hit.
That hit? Oh no, it doesn't. Misses
No.
by 1.
And then with my regular action, I will pull out my clubstone bat and just try
Yes.
to hit it.
Do it. I don't know why, but for some reason I've got it into my head that 16 is their AC, and you guys keep rolling
We could do
16s, and I'm
that.
like, that's it, and it's not it.
But
So
it could be it.
That's an 18 with the club.
That'll do it.
Awesome.
Smack him.
And so that's max damage. 11 damage. Just a big 2-handed swinging for the fences.
How do you want to do this? Claim your first trophy.
Love it. So your dad's just gonna line up with almost perfect baseball form and just give a good crack across the lower jaw. And if either the whole jaw or just like a tooth can fly
Several
off,
teeth at least.
yeah. And just one of them just flies like way out into the sky and just kind of does that anime glint as it disappears.
And the dragon kind of stumbles back, a couple steps at a time, and then falls off of the tower. Its wings, bending backwards as it goes, and it lands on the ground. Similarly timed to that, as you kind of catch a glimpse over at the battle happening in the city a ways away, you watch one of the big dragons, the blue one, spiraling down out of the sky and crash into a tower, basically take that entire town or tower down, and doesn't come back up from the dust cloud. It just seems to be out for the count. leaving only the other dragon. Embers.
All right, I got 1 key point left. I can make 3 more attacks. Let's do this. See if I can actually put it down. Okay. Good. Man. Okay. No, okay, this is all right. All right, only 1 miss this time, and it's a 16 again.
Oh no.
Um,
Should have been their AC.
yeah. But the other ones are a solid 24 and then a crit.
Another crit. Dang.
Yeah.
You've got both ends of the spectrum.
I
tonight.
did, yeah. So let's see.
And luck is a spectrum, as we know.
So that is 18 bludgeoning damage.
Now it's Ember's turn to topple one off of the tower. How do you want to do that?
I think I think the first 2 attacks are like flashing into its claws, so it like can't fly anymore. And then the miss turns out to be like a deliberate feint, so that it goes over and then it topples over and it tries to fly and it can't anymore. It just topples all the way down the mountain.
Yeah, and you watch as Ember's, this dragon that she strikes falls off of the cliff, not rising again. You watch the large white dragon that is over in the town kind of land. It looks like it's injured its wing. And that figure that all of you can assume to be Stratos runs up to it, and it like swipes with a claw, but Stratos parries it away, somehow strong enough to do that. It makes a bite. He catches that with the glaive and then throws its head off, and then seems to plunge the glaive up into the dragon's jaw. And that fight seems to end at similar time to yours, as Aro kind of strides over to the side of the tower to watch what is happening over in the city. And he just kind of folds his arm and nods and says, "Another excellent victory for Aro the Fantastic." I like fantastic. Maybe I'll go with fantastic.
No, you go with amazing.
Yep. Amazing's better.
Kind of shakes his head and says, "No, that's too ostentatious even for me." And then you begin to hear the flipping of pages as you find yourself in one final scene. You're standing, it's nighttime again. It's dark, and the moon it's like a new moon, so it's very there's not much light coming down from the sky. You seem to be standing at the base of some tall rocky mountains, on the edge of what seems to be a grassy plain and a vast desert. Overhead of the desert, you can see multicolored lightning flashing from clouds, and it seems to this lightning storm seems to stretch across the entire vast desert, and the lightning arcs down and strikes the ground, or it will arc across the sky sideways, in just this haphazard, chaotic pattern. There's no thunder that accompanies it. It's just bursts of like multicolored light across the sky. An army of people, many of them seem to be, humans, dwarves, elves, genasi, orcs, Goliaths, there's a couple of hobgoblins in there. It seems to be just kind of a hodgepodge assembly of the people of the land. But among them, you also see a few dragonborn that seem kind of strange. There's dragonborn like you've seen them, with the chromatic or the metallic scales, but there's some dragonborn that seem to have like a gem-like quality to them, which is something that none of you would have ever seen before. And this army is kind of standing in ranks, all of them together, but not with any sort of unified standards or banners or anything like that, facing the foothills of the mountains. And it's kind of unclear, what everyone is waiting for, but everyone seems to be waiting for something with a little bit of trepidation. And you can see yet again another older version of Aro, standing amidst the crowd, sort of looking with a similar trepidation out at the foothills of the mountain and the desert. Doesn't
Aro?
seem to have taken notice of you yet.
Aro?
Hmm?
Are we
Yes.
are you about to go into the South Shore Desert?
The what?
Did I get that wrong?
Desert. The are we crossing the desert?
Oh, you mean the blighted land? No.
Then what are we doing here?
You don't know? Stratos, he's going to address the troops, talk about what happened.
What did happen?
I'm sorry. Are you new or something? How have
We're
you
not
not
from
heard?
around here. We're not from around here.
Well, welcome to the rebellion, I suppose. We've just suffered a heavy loss, and our leader is about to, address the troops. And we're all anxious to hear what he says. And he kind of gestures out at the desert. You mentioned this sandy area, this desert. This, I don't know what you called it earlier, the spell something or other, but this didn't exist but a few days ago.
What was
Big
it
battle with a
before?
dragon then, huh?
It was mountains and grasslands and hills and plains and forests and rivers and lakes, and now it's this.
Neat.
So it was the Bolt Queen that did it, right?
Aro kind of raises an eyebrow. Some people think that, but we won't really know until, we hear from
What are
Stratos
the other
himself.
what are the other rumors?
Some people think it was Daegu, the decaying death. He's also known to be quite powerful in the arcane arts. Could have been a new mass toxin produced by the sky venom. Kind of shakes his head. It's unclear. And as he says that, you see a shadow coming out of the sky, a massive draconic form that lands on the foothills of the desert. It's dark, but there's enough like torchlight and things around where this dragon lands, because it seems like this was an anticipated arrival, that you can see that its scales glitter with gold. This seems to be a gold dragon. And climbing down from its back, you recognize the form of Stratos, but he is unlike you've ever seen him before. There's no gleam or grin in his visage. There's no confidence. He looks defeated and definitely downcast. He's grimy, covered in dirt and sand, ample amounts of blood. And he kind of steps up to a position at the head of the army and seems to have his voice amplified somehow by some sort of magic. And Aro kind of nudges you and says, "Here we go. We'll find out exactly what happened." And then Stratos begins to speak, and he says, "It is with a heavy heart that I stand here before you. The atrocity left in the wake of Vidun's blight at my back as evidence of this rebellion's greatest failure. We have lost many good soldiers, mages, and metallic dragons over the course of this long and trying fight for freedom, but we have seldom lost the likes of who we mourn today." And there's kind of a pause as he bows his head a little bit. "Wise and benevolent Argentum slain by Nereus, the renowned General Elnord cut down before we could see our victory in our war." And then there's a little bit of hesitation. And it's almost a little bit hard to make out his next words because they're kind of choked through what seem to be tears. He says, "And Syros," and there's like a long pause after that name. But some victories were won for our side as well. We saw to it that Nereus will never poison the skies with her breath again, and Vidun, the one responsible for this land's devastation, was torn asunder by her own magic. We are close to our victory now, and I promise you that we are. I swear, here and now, that we will march on the decaying death's lair at first light, and once he no longer draws breath, I will slay Rubrun and bring an end to this war once and for all. But for tonight, I pray to Almighty Bahamut that you find your rest and solace. And he kind of gives a solemn nod and then goes back over to the gold dragon and seems to talk to the dragon. And the pages rustle again, but this time no scene coalesces. There's like a flash of light and a pulling sensation, and you find yourselves back in the library room with Esme standing there kind of holding the book wide-eyed, and we'll pick up there next week.
All right.
Hey. Wow.
So thank you to you guys who played. That was a fun session. Thank you to anyone who tuned in to watch. We'll be back for more of that Monday, 7 p.m. Pacific time. And I hope to see you then. Thanks for watching. Have a good night. Bye.
See ya.
Bye.
Hey.